Let's go ahead and make sure we have the latest version of Rust too. In GitHub Codespaces, Rust Up is already installed for us, including Rust, although it's not always the latest version. So if you do end up using them, you probably need to like update everything the first time. We're almost there. Okay, 156.1 installed. So I can do a cargo. What? Oh. Weird how some commands like take over the terminal and some of them don't. You go away. Okay, so we want to do a cargo new. This will be a binary project, and this is really just going to be like consuming, we'll call it consuming, maybe like Rusty GraphQL. Now I'm a little bit curious about how this is going to work. I'm guessing that I'm not going to get great. I wonder if I want to open up and like just do it like a dot in there. That might have been better. Let's try that. I'm going to delete you. It's going to make you unhappy. I'm going to just do a cargo new again. Cargo init. That's what I want to do. That just initializes the current working folder with a cargo project. So now here is our main. We have everything that we need here. If I do a cargo run, we'll get our hello world. Excellent. And we can now install all of the extensions we need for Rust. I don't have like an extension sort of like sync set up for like all the different code spaces. So we'll need to get Rust Analyzer. And that should take a little bit of time to get set up. Are you done? Can I see? What can I do to make this fail? There we go. Rust Analyzer letting us know, hey, we need to do something about that. Excellent. All right, so if I want to consume this, we're going to need a crate in order to will connect to our entire like database system. So let's see what we can find. For GraphQL. Let's see, we got async GraphQL. It's a GraphQL server library. That might be good. There's also GraphQL client code gen. So for GraphQL client, use Juniper. Okay, let's search for Juniper. A GraphQL server library. Now I want to consume this API with GraphQL. And not be like just a server itself. And is that going to work for, is this going to work for us? It does say that it's a server. Cool. Their book does not lead to, there it is. Okay. Lalada, hello. Juniper is a server. GraphQL client is probably the only option. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that. Because this is going to create the server, isn't it? So what do you, GraphQL client, let's take a look at that. Works in the browser for WebAssembly. That could be interesting. Subscription support. We haven't looked into that too much, but that could be really interesting. Let's try it. Hopefully this is gonna be pretty good. So, let's see, is there anything? Once you have written your query, most likely something in GraphQL, save it in a GraphQL file in your project. Okay, so we need a .graphql file somewhere in here. Probably outside of source, because we don't want, that's my guess. So we're gonna do a, maybe like queries dot, oh, let's actually just do like a folder. So it'd be queries. And inside of there, we're gonna be like maybe list all items. GraphQL. And here's our query. We're gonna get all items. Interesting that I don't have, okay, so it's seen just like plain text here. It doesn't know what that is. Let's go find a GraphQL. There, that's much nicer. Oh, it has an execute query too. Could be interesting. All right, what's next? In order to provide precise types for a response, GraphQL client needs to read the query and the schema at compile time. To download the schema, you have multiple options. This project provides a CLI. However, it does not matter what tool you use. The resulting schema.json is the same. Wait, where does that go? Oh, so okay, we have like a schema path and a query path. Hi. Hi. Do you want another toy? Another mousey. This one slightly covered in catnip. Zippy. Okay. So you're planning on putting them in tests, which are definitely outside of source. Okay. Now, one question is, Hasura, can you give me an export of this specific query? Hi, did you give me back the mousey? No? I'll throw another thing for you. Here. Let's see. We have the data for this specific one. I don't think it's going to give me the types. I mean, this will give me the types for each like actual table, but not together. Okay, so for you, okay, so it shows the SQL that's going to do, the execution plan, but that's not really any types. So that's too bad. Okay, the project provides a CLI, which we can use to like maybe grab it out. Oh, the Apollo CLI. So I've never used the Apollo CLI in order to get a schema. Okay, so let's force. Why do I need a force? Let's try this and see what the error is. Why it thinks that we need a force here. I mean, so far it seems to be happy enough, but we'll see when it gets to like the actual install. Almost there. It is a bit slower installing things. Like when I do these on my desktop, actually, it's super fast. But it's also nice to have just like everything isolated, so in case something is bad, it just doesn't run anything on my computer proper. Hi. No, you don't want to. Oh, you just want more food. Well, since he's not visible, we'll turn that off. Yeah, not happy with me installing this, but it'll be fine. Okay, finally we're on the GraphQL client. Let's see if this works or if I actually do need that force. It seemed to work just fine without the force. I wonder why they think that you need it. Okay, so introspect schema. So get the schema from a live GraphQL API. The schema is printed to standard out so that we could just like force it into a folder or into a file. Okay, so we're going to use GraphQL client introspect schema. So let's put you over here. You go over here. Okay, so GraphQL introspect schema. Our flags are not really anything here. Now I might have to do no SSL because we're doing this to localhost. Let's try it first and see. Options, authorization, I don't send the content to the authorization header. Oh, headers. Okay, so specific custom headers. Okay, so that's what we're going to need to do here. So this -- header. And we remember that that is going to be this one. What exactly? Oh, it's going to be like a quote with a colon. So then colon, space, and then our value, which our value is that super secure password, but I can also just go and copy it from here. Super password. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else. Output, where to write the JSON for. Okay, let's just do it to standard out for right now and just take a look at what it gets us. And then finally the schema location, which is the URL of a GraphQL endpoint. So then space, and that'll be this. Following required arguments were not provided. Schema location. Wasn't that this? Oh, does it need to be a string? Oh. Interesting. Schema location and then the -- Wait a second. Oh, that's opposite from this. Oh, strange. Okay, so let's. We're gonna put you here then. There we go. Okay, so we can see it's grabbing all this information from Hasura, and it's just this is a lot. So let's go ahead and now do this and put it into a single, like a folder. So we're gonna put this into queries. We're going to put it into a file. This is going to be list all items schema JSON. And so we should now be able to see that here. All right. we come back to our documentation. Okay, so we have our schema. Now we supposedly have everything we need. So we're going to pull in a GraphQL client. Oh, I already forgot. There's another one. Rust. I think cargo. I think it's cargo. Maybe not. Not cargo is inspect. Oh, was it cargo top? No, not cargo toml. You're not gonna tell me. Fine. Okay. So let's just head back into here and see what version we need. This is, looks like 0.10.0. I may not need to do that. It may bring it in for me auto magically. Okay, so what do we need here? We're gonna use our GraphQL library. Okay, so we're going to derive GraphQL library. We're gonna have GraphQL. Okay, so we need to tell it that, and then our struct, which is our query. Okay, excellent. So let's create a struct for our query here. So we're going to do struct. This is going to be list all items query. Interesting. So that's just an empty struct. So it's a zero-side struct with some of these derives on it. So we're going to derive GraphQL query. That's going to pull in that. We're also going to bring in GraphQL. Where is that coming from? It's interesting. Okay, so we're going to have a schema path. So this is going to be going into queries and then list all items. So queries list all items GraphQL. This is going to be the schema path. That was a query path. Okay, so queries list all items dot, I guess list all items schema dot JSON. Oh, you need to be dot GraphQL too. I did not notice that. Okay, I got there. You don't there. So let's take you and rename you. Now you're upset. Expected item after attributes. Oh, that's not correct. Okay. Then we have GraphQL. Failed to generate GraphQL import parser error. It doesn't like that at all. Okay, so now we need to do the rest of it. Let's see if that makes these errors go away. You downloaded schema as JSON, so schema path should also point path JSON. Oh, that's a good point. I did rename it. Could rename it there JSON, and I need to let's move list all items schema to there. We'll do that again. Okay. So we now need to create the complete payload that we're going to send to the server. For convenience, the GraphQL query trait is implemented for the struct under derive, so a complete query body can be created in this way. So we have our schema, we have our query. Now they have it the opposite way that I have it. So let's put this first. They also have this response drives. Debug. Okay, so have the response derive debug. Here's our struct. Okay. Then an async perform my query. Okay. So this is going to be async function, maybe get all items. You have, okay, so variables, union query, variables. So I don't actually need any variables for this. We're just going to get them all. We're going to return a result, which is going to have nothing interesting, and a box dyne error. And this error is going to be a standard error. Okay. This is the important line. Okay, so we're going to let request body equals union query build query variables. Okay, so let union query. So, oh, wait, not union query. It's going to be this thing. So this is going to be list items query build query, and then pass in any variables, which I don't need to, but you might need me to pass in something. That'll be interesting. I'm hesitant to believe that this is gonna work. We have so much red showing right now. Let client equals request. Okay, so we need request to client new. Okay, split client equals request. So that means we actually need request, don't we? I was really hoping that this would work. What is it? Is it cargo edit? We can do that one instead. I think it's cargo edit. So we can do cargo install cargo edit. And then I should be able to do cargo add and then like request. Since that other, since I guess I got the wrong extension. I don't think I got the right one. Then once we have that, we'll get request in there. We create a new request, and then we're gonna make the actual post. And then we get the response. Okay, we await it. We print line, and okay, then we're gonna just print it out and just see what we get. And we're gonna see how easy or not easy this is. Now, I also don't have anything to sort of like run the async. So that might also be interesting. And I wonder if I need to like pull in something like Tokyo async. Okay, they have a complete example too, which might be nice. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so I should now be able to do cargo add request. And so what that did is if we come over into our cargo toml, it added in request and it actually found what the latest version is and just added that for me. Now what I've noticed is sometimes REST Analyzer does an okay job and sometimes it needs to just figure things out. So I may need to restart the REST Analyzer engine. Okay, so we have request. That is going to be our client new. It looks like things are so far okay. So that should give us this new client. It can't tell me what the types are because there's so many other not working things. I'm a little bit concerned about this too. Okay, so we're gonna have this let mute result. Okay, this is gonna be our client. We're gonna create a post to wherever this GraphQL thing is. So we know where that is. This GraphQL, I'm assuming, is like to the actual GraphQL thing. So let's go and grab that here. So we're gonna have a .json. Now we have to pass it in the request body. which is here. And it looks like just a reference to it. Okay, then we'll send and await. Okay, let response. Body is, okay, we have to tell it what type it is, huh? So you're going to be a response, a union query. Now, where does union query come in? Oh, this one. Except it's not. Interesting. Okay, so this is going to be the list all. So you're going to be list all items query like that. So response data. You're going to be equal to this response JSON await, and then theoretically we should be able to debug the response body. And we'll return an OK for that result. Now from main, we need to call this. And now I don't have a runner for this. So we'll see how that works. But we need to do a get all items. Do I do an await here? I think it's like a rate unwrap. I never remember how it's supposed to actually work. Await is only allowed inside async functions and blocks. Oh, okay. So can I actually do that? Oh, it's a future. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if I have to like do the entire derive on main to like turn it into an async function. I never remember how to like do this call without it, but I think we're gonna have a whole bunch of other problems. So the struct takes 0 generic arguments. This response also is questionable where we're getting at. GraphQL client response. So this is the wrong kind of response. I want you. Fail to resolve. When I think it's gonna create this from our type that we see up here. We may have to just run this and sort of see what we get. But I'm worried about it. That's a lot of Rust Analyzer being unhappy with me. So it looks like Tokyo is being used. I wonder if it's being used by request and or GraphQL client. All right, so lots of unhappiness. All right, so our first one here, our derive GraphQL query. Expected a comma in this derive. So the use up here is fine. This one here expected a comma. Oh, comma right there, maybe. Perhaps? Let's try this again. Okay, so we got past that. Here we have list all items query. So failed to resolve use of undeclared creator module list all items query. So it did. Oh wait, no. That's what I'm trying to use this. Here you are yelling. Failed to generate GraphQL query impl. The struct name does not match any defined operations in the query file. Oh, you're expecting the query name to, oh, okay. So it has to match what we have inside of here. So we call this like my query. Let's do this as list all items. And I think this will be happier. Well, we'll find out. Let's try this again. Struct name does not match any defined operation in the query file. Defined operations, list all items. Oh, struct name is list all items query. Oh, so hold on. You're still unhappy. Okay, here we go. Unresolved import Serde. I didn't bring it in. So... you try to bring in Serde. This error originates in the derived macro GraphQL query in nightly builds. Okay. Do I need nightly for this? Cannot determine resolution for the derived macro. Serialize. So it's a bit unhappy with us. So do I need to bring in Serde? Is that something here it says like is an absolute requirement? So dependencies, it depends on Serde derive and Serde JSON. I kind of was expecting it to download those automatically and not have me like bring those in. But I guess I need to. Let's try bringing in these. So we'll do Serde plus the derive. Malgliv TV BTW. Hello, good morning. Also, No, I don't want to do that for neither of you. So you are just going to get a fun, where can I do this? Ban hammer time. No, I don't want to be. Goodbye. And reporting. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so let's try Serde with the derive. So that's the derive feature. So we will. It's gonna be cargo add Serde. And we also need a cargo Serde JSON. So cargo add Serde JSON. And cargo.toml, I want to change this where I think it's version equals that, and I think it's comma and then features equals derive. I never remember the exactly how it runs. Let's try this now. I mean, we're getting less errors. That's a good sign. Cannot find type money in module super. Oh, do you not know what type money means? Uh-oh. Let's start with maybe stores. Let's add like a new query. This is gonna be like list stores. So we'll do list stores dot GraphQL. So we'll do a brand new query. We'll call this list stores. And so I just want stores. Just give me your name. That's all I care about. Okay, so let's come back to here and we'll switch you out. Stores. We're going to derive the query. The schema is going to be the same, I believe. But this is going to be now list stores. That GraphQL. Okay, you should be the same. We're going to rename you to get stores. We're going to make our post to that. We're going to pass it in the request body, which is now list stores. Build query. Send await that. So you're now going to be the list stores. Okay, response data. Response that. Okay. So we're getting less red squiggly. That's a good sign. This function takes 1 argument, but 0 arguments were supplied. So that's going to be the variables. What do those look like? Like they're not showing me what these, okay, a union query variables is the type. Union query, oh, is off of here. This is going to be list stores variables new. So we get from into, I don't know how to create this. Like I don't know what that is going to look like. Like clearly you have this idea of what these variables look like. Okay, so variables dot, what do you want? Oh, like it doesn't, it doesn't know what it should be. Okay. And I don't think I can just create that, maybe? See here, we're gonna get these variables. Whatever that is. All right, last thing here is this JSON. No method name JSON for this request builder. Interesting. So that's gonna be client. We do the post. So request client new. We post to there. We then get JSON out. But it doesn't know what that is. Interesting. Let's run this and see if we get better information. Okay, can't find response in this scope. Okay, so. Oh, interesting. So that's that one right here. So this response equals. Oh, is it result? I think it's result. Oh, and that may, oh no, that did not make the JSON go away. Okay, method not found in request builder. So where am I getting this JSON from then? Or is it the wrong version of request? Maybe we're looking at something too new. Take a look at their complete examples here. Okay, so here's a basic query. Oh, they're using something different. They're using client builder. Oh, this is very different than their example in the documentation. We may have to change to something like this. Interesting. Now it looks like they're using request blocking client. Interesting. Okay, so they're using all these two. I kind of want to switch over to this one now. I wonder if I just copy all of this and I just sort of like change it out for what I have. Let's go ahead and comment all of you out. We're going to start over again. Oh, did you, what? It's not what I wanted. Copy all of you. Okay. All right, so I don't need these tests. Okay, so we'll have, probably don't need that. So we'll go request blocking client. Okay, so I guess we need anyhow. Okay, we have GraphQL client, so we have these. Interesting. Okay, they're grabbing request from GraphQL client, but we're also grabbing request from our own thing too, which is interesting. This is using blocking, so it's not async await anymore. Log, I'm not gonna use log or pretty table. Request blocking client. Okay, so we have request. Struct op. Not gonna bring that. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have this type URI string. Okay. REST analyzer. Try again. Okay, so you're happy here, sort of. REST analyzer is rebuilding, so all my red squigglies are unknown state right now. Okay, so you're happy. You're not happy. So unresolved import, could not find request in GraphQL client. Interesting. Okay, so this doesn't work. So I need to pull in post GraphQL blocking out of here. Is that a thing? That doesn't seem like it's a thing. GraphQL client. Let's go take a look at. Let's go look at the documentation. Oh, dependencies. Okay, so we also have to pull in these. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so that's what our potentially what our problem is. I don't know. I saw the option here. It was a different color. I was like, okay, well that's the end of it. I don't need anything more. No, we need these. So GraphQL query derive. Okay. Request plus JSON probably. Okay, let's try that. I kind of wonder if like my original one would work now. I'm gonna go back and try it again. So remove you. No errors, just a bunch of warnings. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, so that didn't... Okay, features do nothing unless you wait or pull them. Oh, can I pull it without something? Can I pull it from in here? So I'm awaiting here. How do I run an async thing from main? And I can't await it unless I'm inside of main, unless I make main and await, right? So and I can't do that. Main function is not allowed to be async. Oh wait, can I do this inside of a block here? Can I just do async block, throw you in here? But then I don't think this would work. Yeah, no matter what, it's then the same problem, right? Because like, hey, you need to be inside of a let's go. I haven't really looked into async await too much. Like I'm aware of what it is and I've used it, but like heavy in documentation. So it's always been on my like plate to learn it proper. Rust async, let's see. Run async function main. Okay, so from main we can do... okay, so here's how we make it not async. We get the future, and then we block on. So what is that going to be? So can we do block on? Where's block on come from? Oh, use futures executor block on. Okay. Okay. You're unhappy. Oh, do I need to use... Yeah, I do need features. Okay. So cargo add features. Okay, so that should make that happy there. So we're gonna do a block on get stores. like that. And then theoretically it should work now. Block on is going to return oh, REST Analyzer is still running, so I can't. Okay, there it goes. And then you are going to return a result. So we'll just unwrap you. Okay, so we'll make you not mutable here. Result apparently doesn't need to be mutable because we're not going to do anything to it. All right, let's see what we can do here. All right, so we panicked. There is no reactor running. Must be called from the context of a Tokyo 1x runtime. Oh, okay, so I can't just use any features. We have to use a Tokyo features. Okay, so hold on. Let's go find documentation for that. So this is gonna be Tokyo async main. Yeah, we're gonna go find documentation for that. So we're gonna have Tokyo version 1. We could bring in features full. It's probably fine. It's gonna make it a huge binary, and it'll be a long compile time. But then that will allow us to do this, which is kind of what we need to do. All right, let's try that. So we're gonna bring in Tokyo. Get that going. Then gonna have Tokyo main here. Then, okay, we have to return a result, which, I don't know if we have to return a result. Then we could do async main. And then we can just do our normal things with an await on it. So now we can just do get stores dot await and then unwrap from there. Let's try this one. I'm assuming this can be a pretty long compile, or maybe not. Tokyo traditionally has been a pretty long compile. But maybe it's a little bit shorter now. Hey, and we got it working, sort of. Okay, so we are missing the access key. So basically we got an error. We couldn't connect. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Now we need to figure out how to add in that connection information. Now you're not sharing anything with me here. My guess is that's going to be inside of here. So we have like post JSON headers. Now, as part of this query builder, can I do like headers? So we probably want one header, right? So header key, okay. I'm just going to hard code this in right now, but then .env files would probably be helpful. XO Random, hello, good morning. So back to you. We have you, we want you now. So our key is going to be that, and our value is going to be the super password, just here. Okay, let's try this again. See if we can access and get the data out. Hey, and we can. So here we can actually see our response coming back. Okay, that's nice. So this gives us the stores. Now we haven't done any like mutations or such, but this is like actually retrieving the data, which is nice. Now, if I wanted to have this value be just from a .env file, I think that there's some stuff we can now do in like a config with cargo.toml, so I don't have to pull in like the .env crate. I think. I need to go re-look at that because it's been a little while. So I think it's cargo.toml, or maybe like creates config, I can't remember which one, and environment variables. It might also be configuration. These are environment variables that can be overread. These are not what I want to set. I could just grab the environment variables. That could also work. We could also just grab .env. So we can create a config.toml inside of our .cargo folder. Let's see, I vaguely remember that there is a way for us to basically grab information dynamically. But maybe not. Maybe it would just be best to use .env. All right, let's just use .env. All right, so we're gonna go to lib.rs, .env. GraphQL is way cool. Glad it's getting better over the years. I've always liked graphs and operations like forever, even back in the Oracle days. How to trees and graphs in SQL and set through was always fun. Last time we tried GraphQL was for a Vuex mobile app. Didn't get very far. Yeah, I've done GraphQL in Vue apps before, and I used Apollo Vue. It was pretty good. I like it a lot. I haven't tried doing it from Rust before, so it's been an adventure. All right, so we're gonna pull in .env, and it's usually pretty simple here. We're just gonna do this .env.ok, and then we have access to it. And it allows us to not have to actually create real environment variables in the system, which is not as nice. Okay, so we're gonna create a couple things here. First, we're going to do a cargo add .env. Then we're going to create, do this here, the right place. So we're going to touch .env. we're going to open up this .env here, and now we can just add in, any environment variables that we want. So in this case, we're going to use maybe like our GraphQL URI equals something. So stop that. Okay. That's going to be this. Then we're going to do a GraphQL, like the API key. So we'll just do key, which is this super password. But if we deploy this, it will not, like, we can actually make it a real password. Okay, so if I have that, now in main, at the beginning of main, we're going to do a .env .ok, I think. What? No. Like that, I think. And we can say, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do here. And now we can read the environment variables as if we had actually created real true environment variables. So we still need standard env. But I think what we can do is, let's see, let GraphQL URI is going to be equal to env. Something about I want like a get. Maybe a var. Fetches the environment variable key. Okay, so Apollo view, I'll take a look. You're trying to make a blog feed app that would load graph branches smoothly. Yeah, so like I like Apollo view. It takes a little bit of time to sort of set up and get working. Bear in mind, if you use Vue 3, I don't think it's even close to ready yet. So, but like a lot of tooling for Vue 3 is not even close to ready. So, yeah, if you need to do that, it's probably like a solo. You have to roll your own thing. And what do we call this again? I forgot. It is this. And we'll just do an unwrap. Let our GraphQL key is equal to m var ur GraphQL key, unwrap u, and I think we should be good to go now, which means we should be able to pass these in here. So pass in the GraphQL URI, the GraphQL key, which means you need to take these in. So get stores is going to be the URI and key. Both of you are going to be strings, I believe. So then here, this is just going to be a reference to URI, and you are going to be a reference or a string slice to the key. Okay. You still, oh, is it dot? Okay, I think it's .env. .env. There we go. There we go. Now, if I run this again, You don't, oh, here's the okay. No, that's not what I want. Is it like that? Dot. There it is. Okay. There we go. Okay. We have no errors anymore. So let's try this now. And, okay, perfect. And it's still working. So now I'm able to pull out like the password and the URI from the source code. And I now have access to that through environment variables. So if I do deploy this somewhere, I can have those environment variables on a system and everything will be much happier. Okay. And we can make these queries as complex or as not complex as we really want them to be. Because hey, it's GraphQL. We can try a mutation. Yeah, we can try a mutation, see if we can add in like an item, but let's actually see if we can like now get the items, because those are a little bit more complex. So we have these list all items. We're gonna do that now. This is gonna give us the items and I don't need the stores like that. I just want the items. Say I don't even need the ID, let's say. Well, ID might be nice. So I need the item, the name, the price. I don't want the store ID. I just want the store name to go with it. So back here to main. I want to, okay, so we have get stores. Let's do this again now. So async function get items. Bring in the URI, which is, in this case, you can just be a like a string slice, right? So a stir and a key, which is a stir. We're gonna return, in this case, we can probably return the items themselves, which is gonna be this response body, which is gonna be this list stores, response data. Guess it's gonna be this entire thing. I wonder, yeah, I wonder what this is gonna full look like. So, all right, so we have variables. We don't need any, so I'm just gonna create empty variables. And so this is gonna be a get. Oh, we're gonna need this entire thing again. So instead of list stores, now it's gonna be list all items. And the schema is the same, but this is now going to be list all items. Okay, so list all items. Give me the variables. Then, okay, so let request body equals, okay, so we're gonna this is now gonna be list all items. I'm gonna create a build query out of that, pass in those variables. We have our request client. Now we're going to use that to build this result. Now, if I don't need to do anything like that, I wonder if I can one line this. If I can just basically say, hey, we're going to do a request client new. And then from here, do a post, pass it in this URI. We're going to put on the headers, or in this case, the header, which is going to be this X, Hasura, admin secret. You're going to be the key. We're going to get JSON, and it's going to be that request body. Now, if we take a look at that, that's just a reference to this, but I wonder if I can now take you and just throw you in there and not have this request body at all. Okay, so we have the JSON that we're going to send and await and do that entire thing. Now this is going to be our result. Now this empty variables here, we can just maybe take you, copy you, and just grab them directly in there as we need it. So we got a result, and then we're going to JSON and await that, and then return it. So I don't actually need to do this result here. Perhaps here, after we await, then we're going to JSON this, await again, and question mark that, and that's the result that we're returning. Maybe? Question operator can only be used in an async function. Oh wait, did I forget? No, I'm making this async. Okay. That returns result or option. I am returning a result. So result with this response, and then the error is going to be this, whatever that's going to be. Okay, you're upset. Let's see, tracebound standard, dyne standard error. Deserialize is not satisfied. Oh, and then I think we have to put you in an okay, maybe? Like that. Yeah, okay, so one-liner now function. It's still pretty ugly, but this can be sort of like hidden away in an API layer. We can potentially even pass in what we need to get, possibly, maybe. I don't know if that was gonna make sense, but okay, so we initially have the get stores. Now I want to do a let items. It's gonna be equal to get items. We're going to pass it in a reference to the GraphQL URI. And the key. I'm going to unwrap you. Oh, we're going to await you and then unwrap. That gives us the items, and now I should be able to debug here the items. Let's see. Cannot, oh, right. This entire thing where cannot find type money. So unfortunately, our GraphQL library can't look at like all the different types that we have in the database, which is a little bit unfortunate. So let's change that to a float, which I believe we can do. So here's our price. Can modify. Price. Your type is not going to be money anymore. I want you to be numeric. Can I make you a float? Maybe? Column price cannot be cast automatically to type double precision. Oh, okay. Integer maybe? Cannot be cast to that either. What are you? So like whatever money can be cast to. Now I guess what I could do is, okay. Let's just take this price. We're just gonna remove you. And we're gonna add in a column of price. So column type, you're gonna be an integer. No default value. We're gonna say that this is the number of pennies, maybe? I could make it just float. We'll just make it float. It'll be a double. It's not the best for actual money uses, but like for this, for like in this case, it'll be fine. So everything's gonna be null for right now. Oh, I also have to redo our schema, don't we? So what did I do? We did a GraphQL CLI. Okay, we did this with an introspect schema. We went there, we give it the header. We're going to update this. Okay, so I want you to go to maybe not list all items. We're going to put you into the queries. And this is just going to be like the, I don't know, schema.json. And we're going to update you to be now schema.json. Cannot find type float 8 in module super. Really? So float's not available too? Wait, what? Okay, I want to go find out what types do I have access to? Do you have a list of the types? And is it actually going to be here? Or is this going to be in one of the macros? Oh, it's going to be in a macro, isn't it? the query derive. Well, thank you for that. In GraphQL, 5 scalar types, int, float, string, boolean, and ID, are available out of the box and are automatically mapped to equivalent types in Rust. However, in addition, custom scalar types can be defined by service providers by adding declarations like scalar URI to the server schema. If such custom scalar types are defined in a schema, depending on content of the query, the generated code will also reference those scalar types. This means you have to provide matching Rust types in the scope of the struct under derive. So, yeah, okay, so here. If such declarations are not provided, you will get build errors like this. So cannot find type URI in module super. Oh, okay, I see. It can be as simple as declarations like type URI equals string. This gives you complete, oh. Wait, so can I just do that? Where do I put that? So this is float 8 is what it's yelling at us. Okay, so type float 8. Let's just do this as like an F64. Will allow you we're not using this thing anymore. Let's see, we still have some warnings here. Get source is not used. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's the only real warning of consequence now. Yeah, 2 warnings for that. Okay, cool. So let's try this again. Red main panicked, result unwrap on an error value, decode, missing field stores. Okay, so main.rs line 59. Okay, fine. In there. So missing field stores. And these get items. Now we're trying to grab, so from list all items. So we have store here. Can I not grab sub things? That seems not cool. We can try a full backtrace. So export you. Okay, so I'm gonna look for my code. So in a closure, line 51 is what we see, so that's where we start running at. Bunch of stuff inside of Tokyo. Main address line 60. When we try to debug it. Oh, that's not helpful. Okay. I don't think that cargo check will help us. We can try running it. Because I think it's going to give us the exact same information, right? Oh, no, that's only checking the syntax. Never mind. It's not going to run it and then give us like the results at runtime. So you're saying that stores isn't here. Now, what if I don't do this? Like, what if I don't include store and I just want ID, name, and price? You still fail. Missing field stores. So missing field stores. Could that... So we have our schema path. I believe we still have a schema JSON in here. Here's our schema JSON. Is there like a stores that we need to add in here? So much interesting stuff. Let's see. Okay, so we have name stores. When I generated this, I'm not like running a query. I'm just saying like, hey, just get me the entire schema from GraphQL. And I think that's fine. That being said, let's double check that this one still runs. So that this is gonna be the list stores one. So let's open you back up and we won't do you. Yes, that still works. So if that's still working, yeah, I just won't debug it. We'll keep it running. Now, if I try to get these items out, but I don't try to print it, that should fail too, right? Oh, use move values. Yeah, let's just to be quick about this, we'll just clone you. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so missing field stores. Now this is a more complex query. So in get items, do I somehow, okay, so list all items. I don't have like a stores in here anymore. Do I somehow need to tell it that? I can't see necessarily the, well, I guess we can go take a look at the schema. We can also potentially look at issues inside of GraphQL client, see if there's anybody who's talked about if there's anything about like sort of sub like relations. And I don't think it would be caused by weird problems of like me combining everything together into a single line essentially inside of that query. Let's see. How would I search for this just to double check that I don't have like any weird problems in here? Our error message is missing field. Now stores. So missing field, maybe we can search for that. That's not interesting. Okay, so missing field isn't giving me much to go on here. So that makes me think that it's my problem, not like a bug or something else. Did I somehow... So it was price that was there. Let's go double check that. So we have this store IDs, okay? So we have that. So store should be fine here. We have the relationship, okay. This should be fine, I think. So in our items, we have our store ID. So missing field stores. Now, if I were to do a query on this, do you need to have this query in here too? Which would give me a list of all the stores, but it sort of feels wrong. Like, I don't feel I should have to have that. Oh, that ran. Do you look, okay, so when I run the command line, does it look up what these queries are? That's strange. Okay, if I get rid of all of you, and if I want items, do I have to like grab them all? So, okay, I want all the name, I want the price, I want the store, and the name. Like, that's what I would want. This is what I want to get. Price is null, but okay. Let's not get the price then. We'll get these things. List all items. Now, let's go ahead and remove these two schemas. So list all items schema and the schema.json, and we'll do another. Okay, GraphQL client introspect schema. Yeah, and I'm not telling it what schemas to look into. So if I just do that, over there. Okay, so here's our schema again. And then we're back to this failing again. And we're back to you failing because you're failing to figure out what it is that we need in list all items. So we want the store name. So, okay, do I need like list? No, because we have the store name. Okay, so inside of here, it's almost like I need stores name. Oh, that feels strange. That's also not really helpful because I don't actually want to get both these things out. I just want these items. Excuse me. But it technically works. Okay, hold on. I want to see what happens. If we come into main, let's go ahead and debug these again. Okay, so here's our items, response, data sum, response data. Yeah, so look, we have stores. What happened to our items? Wait a second. What happened to our items? So in get items here, list stores. Oh, that's my problem. List all items. I changed it here and I forgot to change it here. I bet that was the problem. Yeah, okay, hold on. I bet I can remove store like that, and now everything should work. There we go. Okay, so in the code, make sure you're calling the right query, otherwise it gets really confusing. Basically, it was looking at one query, but then also like another query for the type of it, so that was causing weird errors. Yeah, let's not do that. But okay, so I'm able to get this item here. So list all items. We have now our studio lights, and that's from Amazon. Great. Now, what if I wanted to grab these out individually? Like, how can I reach in to grab that? So from this items, I have just items as a response. So what can I get? Okay, so I have data and errors, which gives me an options. Okay, so unwrap. Let's just shadow that. So that's gonna be the response data now. So items.items, oh, is now gonna be a vector list all items. Okay, so let's try for item in items.items, and let's just debug item, see what we got here. Okay, so we now have this item, which is a list all items item. List all items. And then inside of that, okay, we have the name and we have the store. Okay, all right. Seems workable. So names and store. So if I want item dot name, then debug item dot store dot what are you? Oh, you're okay, so you're an option. So let's unwrap you dot name and option string. Okay, so unwrap, because technically it could be nullable. I bet if I put a not null on it, it would be happier. Okay, let's try this. Now we should get a nice sort of like printed list of all these. Yeah, and there we go. Okay, so we have an item. Oh, we still have a sum on this for the name. Okay. Do I have to? Okay, so unwrap. Like unwrap twice? Or did I not save? No, okay, so you're still, okay, so the item.name is still, oh, the item.name. Unwrap you. There we go. And now we can see that this is Studio Lights from Amazon, celery from Natural Grocers, toy, bird feather toy from Petco. Okay, that is actually nice. So it's not like the cleanest, but like a lot of the APIs I've noticed, like when using something like this with Rust, it's not like super small and easy to use, but it works. It's probably going to be pretty fast. The type, now if we went back to the money type, I kind of want to do that. I want to go back to having money again. And the easiest way, I think, is come back to here, and we're just going to rebuild Hasura really quickly, which will reset all of these things. Let's double check that we're using the right things. Integer references, type money. I think this is all going to be fine. Okay, so all those got created and inserted. Should be able to come back into Hasura. Let's track all of you. Track all of you. Now everything is set up. Let's go ahead and run this. That's fine. Now what I want to do is grab, as part of this query, let's grab the money out of here, price, and in main, I want to debug, okay, so the name, the store, and debug item.price.unwrap. And I believe that's going to yell at us now because it doesn't know what this money type is. Oh, how did I get those? Okay, so now I think it's going to yell at us because it doesn't know what the money type is. Oh, invalid type string. It didn't. Oh, apparently it's a string. And is that what this float8 is here? So if I take this away and I rerun you, are you going to now tell me that you don't know what this is? Ah, because it is a float8. Okay. So even though it's type money, oh, you know what I need to do? I need to recreate the schema. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second. So we're going to recreate the schema. So queries, schema. Cargo run again. All right, so cannot find type money in here. Perfect. So we're going to come back up here. I'm going to recreate you. And now this is going to be type money. I'm curious about what it's going to come in as. Like, is it going to come in as a string? I think that it is. As opposed to like an F64. But we can try this first and see what it yells at us. If it does. Oh, it's yelling at us. Invalid type string. Okay. So yeah, we see that type money is being stored in a database as a string. So we can see type money is actually a string. And now I think everything is going to be fine. There we go. So now we can see if I wanted to like make this a nice sort of output, instead of like this debug here, we can maybe do a nice print line where we can say our item. So we'll have like that. We'll have our item name. We'll have like the price. So that should be maybe in parentheses. And then maybe like a colon and the store name. All right, so item. So in this case, that's going to be item dot I guess it's going to be name unwrap. Now, if I put in a result on main, we wouldn't have to do an unwrap on this. We could just do a question mark. Okay, so then this is going to be the price. So item dot price dot unwrap. And then finally, the store. So this is going to be item dot store dot name unwrap dot name unwrap. No, I mean, clearly not very nice, but technically it works. And there we go. We're now able to format this in a way that makes a lot of sense. So that's pretty cool. Bahara, hello. Not familiar with Rust, but can you just write the variables inside the brackets? Maybe. Where would I put that? Like, are you talking about inside of here? In which case, no, I can't. So print line is, oh, if you do a $sign before the quotation. You know, I've never done that before. We could try it. So $sign here. Let's actually do this inside of here. Here. The playground, the Rust playground. So okay. Oh, you do not like dark mode. Hold on, let's turn off dark mode for the playground. Okay, you don't, what? Stop. You don't like that. Okay, filter. There we go. It's gonna be play.rust playing.org. Okay, I think that'll be better. All right, so let's say that we have something like function main. All right, so let x equals, let's say like 42. Let y equals 24. So if I want to do a print line, and I don't want to like pass it in, so can I do a quote before this, and then I can just say something like x y, right? Is that what you're asking? I don't think we can do this, but let's try it. Yeah, expected expression found this $sign, so it doesn't like the $sign. Now I can also put the $sign in front of each of these. That's more like JavaScript style with the new string literal syntax, but again, I don't think that print line works with this either. Oh, there's no argument named x. So what is it looking for? I think we have to name the argument inside of here now. Like, how would I name it like this? Oh, yeah, I can apparently do that. I can just run code inside of here. That's interesting. I did not know that. However, I can't like reach out and grab it out of here. And so that kind of makes it like not necessarily all that helpful. So I really want to be able to do something like X and Y like this. In which case I don't need to do that. I can just do like this. And this will run just fine, where we have 42-24. Now, println is sort of modeled after, is it println? Is it println in C? Where you have like this string and then like the comma and then all the stuff that goes into these brackets inside of the string here. So that's why I ended up writing it the way I did. It's pretty cool that I can have like an equal sign for like the named stuff, but I'd have to do something like x equals x, y equals y inside of here, which feels weird. Doesn't necessarily like feel like it's getting me anything. But this allows me to sort of like grab this information out. So if I want to now create a full program that uses something with like these items, I can then stuff that data into a struct, and then at launch time or whenever I need to get information from the API, it runs these queries, stuffs the information in, and returns it. Which maybe would be like the next thing to do, right? So like we have like this list all items. Let's imagine that we have like another struct here, but these are going to be well, do I want to store these separately? That's a good question. I don't know if I would want to create my own. Let's say I create an item struct. And inside of here, we're going to have like in this case, I want an ID, which is going to be a, probably like an I32. I want a name, which is going to be a string. I want a price, which is going to be a string here. And I want a store name, which is going to be a string as well. So if I do that, so we're going to take in an ID, which is 32, name, string, price, string, so we're going to return a self, then we'll just do a self d name, price, store name. Okay, so that will make you happy there. Then inside of this get items, I want to return I don't need to return a response. I just want to return just a full, I guess it would be a vector of items, right? So like a vec of items. So a vec of item. And then the error here, okay. Now, this is going to be interesting because this request, so we get this await. Now we can get the items off of here. So now what do you give me? Oh, it's data. Oh, you don't like that at all. So I get this. Oh, so await and unwrap. So I have to like double question mark this? Or isn't it an option? You don't seem to like any of those options. Okay, so hold on. Let me set result equals to this. We'll do that. I'll return you to make you happy temporarily. Well, I guess like it needs to be some kind of like item. So hold on. Actually, you know what? To do. We'll make you a to do. That will make you temporarily happy. All right, so now can I do result dot? Can't get the data. I don't think I can do another. I can do an unwrap or else. It just feels a little bit strange. Here I'm doing, okay, so get items. I'm doing an await here, and then another unwrap. To get this vector of items. So this result, now it's this impl future. We do this await to get this back. Very interesting how it doesn't really know what's going on. And I wonder if that's like just Rust Analyzer not really working very well with async await syntax. So can I get data off of here like that? Which then we unwrap. I guess it's like another result. It's like, what if I do result const? What am I doing? This isn't JavaScript. Should I shadow you? Type annotations needed, cannot infer type. Type must be known at this point. If we take a look up here, we did give it a type, didn't we? So we get this result here, which is this response, and then we take this response. Okay. So I do need, so that goes down all the way down to this await. Then this result is gonna be this response. This is gonna be the list all items response data, and I want this result. Result.json. You know what this is, but you don't. It's a response type. So request client new. So it's gonna be this client. What type of response are you? You are a request async impl response. Okay. Oh, and a generic. Okay. So you're going to be this. Probably this is what I want to put up there. Then I don't know if I need this anymore. Okay, so now we do this result dot, can I just, there we go, data, unwrap you. Now we got our response data. Choco Chips Girl, hello. Okay, then we're gonna get our items. And so here we have a vector of this. Now, if I want to like convert this into like our, okay, our all items. So I want this to be the items equals this. Let's go ahead and we'll get this into an iterator, converting it and just like doing that should be fine. So iter, I'm doing good. How about you? Then we can map it. So we're gonna have a, this is gonna be a list all item. So this is gonna be a GraphQL item. Okay, so we're gonna have a GraphQL item, which is just a reference to this, and I want to now turn this into an item something else. You're having problems with your homework of Android programming. I've not ever done Android programming. Is it still in the Java language, or is it switched over to like Kotlin or something else these days? I haven't been following along with like the Android programming ecosystem in a long time. Let's see. Okay, you can do, oh, hello, SureShock. You can do Kotlin or Java. Nice. I like, if I was probably going to start doing it, which I don't really see myself doing that, but if I was going to, I would probably choose Kotlin. Okay, so we have items. But after advent of Kotlin, Java flipped the switch and Java is suddenly so good. Wait, what? Really? Oh, is it the competition? And they're like, okay, fine, if we're gonna be competed against, we're gonna just like start building up and making it good again, or to begin with. Let's see. I want to return an item, right? So this is gonna be an item new And okay, so the ID. So this is going to be a GraphQL item. Let's do this different lines. So we're going to have the GraphQL item dot ID dot unwrap. I think that's how we can get that. We're gonna have the name. So it's gonna be the GraphQL item dot name dot unwrap. Let's see, price. GraphQL item dot price unwrap. We can try a try map too. That could be helpful. Choco, well, thank you so much for the 25 bits. Good luck with your homework, and yeah, have a great rest of your weekend too. GraphQL item, price unwrap, and then finally we have the store, right? So it's gonna be the GraphQL item dot. So in this case, it's gonna be store. So we have to unwrap this, and then we can get the name and then unwrap that. And then we're going to return this, the result of this. That gives us our items, and then we're going to return an OK items. Mismatch types expected a vector, found a struct. Oh, right. We have to collect this at the end, which is right here. So collect into you. You should figure out what you want to do. Did I not add in an ID? I did not. Here, ID. That should make you happy again. So let's try this. Let's see. Let's derive debug on our item. And okay, so we're gonna get our items from this. Then I'm just going to debug items. See how this works. Oh, very much not happy. What do we got here? Previous import of the type response here. Oh, we have two responses. I don't think we want the request response. That got added in by VS Code, I think. All right, what's next? Then derive debug is not, oh, app on the impl. Don't want to do that. Yes, you want to be on the struct. No method named unwrap here for type I64 in a current scope, because you're required in the database. You cannot be null, so therefore it doesn't have an unwrap because it's not an option. I think that's what it is. So I don't think I need to do this unwrap like that. I think I can just do that. Oh, expect an I32. Okay, so it's I64 because it's a integer. And I believe we can look at the schema, right? And if I find ID, name is int. I'm guessing it's a big int, or integers are basically just F64s, or I64, sorry. I don't know if it like is going to tell me. Or internally it knows internally it knows it's going to be an I64. Okay. So in here, you are an I64. And this could probably be a U64 too. And I wonder if we can like override data. Okay, cannot move out of, okay, so I guess I can't actually move out of here. So instead of doing a .iter to take ownership of it, we're gonna do, actually you're a reference, so I'm not moving. Move occurs because GraphQL item.name has type option string, which does not implement the copy trait. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, we don't want to move it out. We want to like copy this in this case. So name, price, and this name here are gonna have to be cloned. Okay, so that clone is in the wrong place. Do I need to put the clone here? I think I might need to. There we go. But you need your clone in a different place, don't you? So GraphQL item store, unwrap, or do I need a ref? Because I can get the reference. So like, get the, no, not like that, as ref, which then gives me an option with the reference inside. So then I unwrap that and then clone it out of there. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay, so items, data unwrap, unknown field. So 93 now. Okay, so these are different now. So now we get the items, which gives us the vective items. I don't need this anymore. We're just gonna debug those items now. And I think we're finally done with any problems. There we go. And so now I've done a GraphQL query and I've extracted the information and turned it into like my own items that sort of like allows me to now go through the rest of the app and do whatever I need to do with it. And I suppose that these would now be the variables that I would pass in for everything else. Interesting. Yeah, that might be something we have to look into next time, is like now the mutations, and just sort of like see what happens when we try to mutate. Like if I add another one, or if I want to like change like one of the names or something like that. However, my throat is starting to like bother me a little bit, so I am going to I'm gonna have to end it here, so that way I can go and rest my throat. I have to like speak a lot during the week. It's interesting being fully remote on my remote team. Is like there's so much more talking that I end up doing. So it's sort of like fascinating. It's a little feels like strange to like think that that's how it works, but yeah. Well, I am doing that also. I like the other thing is I am I am on my own, sort of like going through and learning AWS Developer Associate stuff. I'm not planning on taking the course to get certified, but I'm just sort of like looking through and learning that kind of things. My personal project is I want to build a Brooks Builds website, throw it up on AWS as part of my learning. And I'm thinking of doing some GraphQL for that. So this is all sort of like in preparation for like building something that we can throw up on AWS. And so maybe I'll like show some of that process too once I like internalize and understand it enough. But anyways, I am not doing weekday streams these days because I am studying like the AWS stuff and I don't want to do that on stream. It's too dangerous, I think. So instead, I will be doing my next planned stream is next Sunday at around the same time. It is Thanksgiving coming up next week after. I don't know. Time is weird these days. So on that weekend, I'll probably have a little bit more time for streaming. But besides that, basically, yeah, leaking AWS means bankruptcy. Exactly. Well, regardless, I'll be back next weekend, Sunday. I sometimes do random streams here and there if I really like, I feel that I can, but otherwise, I would love to see you back here again. We'll probably continue working with Hasura and GraphQL and Rust and like maybe build out, like just continue playing around with this. So with that, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Bye.